they're coming out of a marriage and they've got a good sum of money coming out of the sale of their matrimonial home. And they're trying to decide whether or not to purchase another home, but a smaller one, or rent something and lend the money, and to their disadvantage, they ran into me and asked me my opinion. And so I just rolled out the numbers, right? Just be like, look, if you can't buy the house you want, you can certainly lend that money and probably pay all your rent, live for free, ultimately. And this person said to me, well, how does it all go wrong? I said, three things. Three things all have to happen at the same time for us to be in trouble. Just to be in trouble. Never mind devastated, just to be in trouble is, first, the market, the housing, like the value of the house has to drop by 20% or more in 12 months. That's one criteria. And then number two, the borrower has to also stop paying. And I said to her, let me ask you a question. I said, if when you were married, if your husband came down to breakfast one morning and he said, honey, I got some bad news. The house was worth $1 million, we thought, and now it's not. It's worth 900. Do you think your response would have been, well, screw it then, I'm not paying the mortgage? Like the two aren't tied together. So the value of your house goes up and down, you still pay the mortgage. So those two things are difficult for them both to happen at the same time. And then the third thing is that if those two things happen and we end up having to, in the worst case scenario, take possession of the asset, well, then we have to sell it to realize the loss. But we don't have to sell it. We could hold it. And what we know about real estate historically is that it's cyclical. And when the values drop, they come back, usually better than ever. So you're checking a lot of boxes of security and safety. And even at our highest loan to value ratio, which is 80% of the value of the house, you lose 20%. That's a lot to lose. But even then you're still close to even. Like you're still able to get out with pretty much all your money. And when you factor in the interest you made along the way before it defaulted, you've got a little more buffer.